Hey everyone, this is your favorite radio host, your only radio host and favorite girl, of course, Corinne Lafont, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. And you're on Between the Lines. Isn't that awesome? So today, I always start my show off being thankful. I am so thankful for being here. I am just super excited. I don't know. It's just my excitement. I think it's because of the time of the year. You get extra excited. But I'm always excited. Whatever. I'm always excited. It doesn't matter. Christmas is right wrong the year for me. Every day of the year is Christmas. There should be joy, and I wonder why it is that people are always more giving at Christmas and they're not more giving right throughout the year. Why is that? I have a problem with that. You should be giving every day of the year, every moment of your life. You shouldn't be waiting for Christmas. I guess you do, but I guess it's an extra special thing when it comes to Christmas. Well, whatever works for you. But I am just so thankful. I shouldn't say but, and I am so thankful for being here, for seeing another day, for having my cup of tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, for having my cup of tea and enjoying it and looking forward to talking to this handsome man here that you're seeing on the screen. Harold Pfeiffer. See that lovely smile of his, trying to charm us. And he hasn't said a word yet. Let me tell you a bit
How you
about
guys
what we're going
doing?
to let me tell you a bit about what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about longing for acceptance. And that is something that I've been noticing even within myself. We're human beings. We're all longing for acceptance. So it's not something that's unique only to certain people, to certain race, to certain locations. It happens to every one of us. And Harold has gone through a couple of things, or a few things, that he's going to be sharing with us. I'm going to tell you a bit about Harold, and then we're going to get straight into the topic of longing for acceptance. And we're going to discuss that for a bit. We're going to be looking at his website, should he have one, and his book, etc. Yeah, let's see what we can learn from Harold this morning. So let me tell you a bit about Harold. Harold Pfeiffer, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, was born and raised in Columbus, Mississippi. I always used to spell that in school. You can't forget to spell Mississippi. Mississippi. That became a song. All of his first 25 years was solidly spent inside his home state. After graduating from Mississippi State University and Jackson State University, he went on to work for the Federal Aviation Administration for 23 years as an air traffic controller. I've always found that area so exciting. He needs to tell me more about that off air. He eventually left the FAA and began work as an international contractor where he has done numerous tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. What a place to be. Welcome, Harold, to Between the Lines.
Uh, Thank you.
Air
Glad to be
traffic
with
controller, welcome. Yeah, air traffic controller. I've always found that exciting. I don't know, just watching the screen, managing planes. I'm like, air traffic controller. You control planes in the sky. There's traffic in the air, just like there's traffic on the road.
you.
Where to fly, where to cross over, take that highway, don't take that road, stop, there's traffic. I don't know. Tell me what an air traffic controller does, really, and why is an air traffic controller so important? People may not understand how significant your role is in managing the airspace. You just jump on a plane, you sit there and you get to your destination, and you have no idea sitting in that plane how you get to your destination. Really, you really don't know. Tell me the work that you do as an air traffic controller.
Well, it's a couple of different phases. The one you probably most familiar with right at the airport. And that kind of start even, once you get on the airplane, you need someone to tell you kind of, how to back up, how to get out, how to get to the runway. So that's kind of one of the initial parts of it. And then
Okay.
of course, yes, of course you got departing and landing, which is all, basically right at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is radar, that you don't know, and of course it's a bunch of airplanes. The bigger the airport, of course, more airplanes, and they can't just land or take off themselves. It's too much going on, and that's why they need controllers. And
Wow. You don't think when you're in a plane that there's another plane in the space. You think you're the only plane that's out there. No, I mean,
right.
I'm telling you, you don't think when you're sitting on a flight, on a plane, that there's
Mm.
another plane. That there's possibly another plane probably coming in your direction, in the opposite direction, and you can knock into each other. You're not thinking that. You're like, I'm heading to New York, and that's it. You're
Yeah,
not thinking that
you're
there's
right.
another plane in this.
And
You're not on
the
the
beauty of
road. You're not on the road where you can see cars, look out your window and see cars. You see clouds, you may see the sunlight. Yeah, depending on the distance you are, you may see down on the earth, the ground. But after you reach a certain distance, you can't see anything except the clouds. So you're not thinking, hey, there's another plane out there. Somebody can crash into us. I don't really like to talk about that. But, somebody's not
right.
watching what they're doing. They probably had their head down. They weren't watching outside. Just like how traffic is on the road. You're not thinking that because you're not seeing that. So your role as air traffic controllers really, and I didn't even think it would start from on the ground, to tell them how to reverse, where to park. I'm not, whoa, this is serious.
Yeah, it's that major, and the bigger you are, probably even right there at Trinidad and Tobago is a lot of ground, or you got people controlling when they can move, who can't move, follow this guy. It's that important.
Wow. And this is why when we're sitting in the plane and you're like, why can't we reach wherever we already landed and we cannot move? It's you
Right.
guys telling them, no, you cannot move. Stay where you are. Oh,
Exactly.
oh my
Exactly.
God. And people are getting upset. You see how inconsiderate people can be. Instead of they being patient, they really have no idea. I think people need to be educated on the work, that goes into really flying to make that possible and to make it safe for every one of us. I know people need to be educated on the process so that everything they go through, from booking a flight to getting to the airport to getting to their destination and reaching to the home safely, I think they need to understand all the intricacies that took place for their safety and for their comfort. I didn't mention that, for their safety and their comfort. People take a lot of things for granted, and you guys are doing a fabulous job. I've always found it interesting just seeing this little blip on the screen flashing, I guess. I mean, I can only talk from what I see on TV. And, and just managing little lights on the screen. I just find it super exciting.
Right. Right. It is exciting. We kind of make it routine, but it can be challenging at times.
Yeah. Can you tell me one situation as an air traffic controller where you're like, your heart was outside your chest? Or, or yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Tell me one, just one.
just one. God. Well, I mean, most of us are, I can't say we got ice in our vein, but you get where you see a lot of situation, and you learn not to get overexcited or overreact, and you don't want to spook the pilot, and so at that point, if if they're in a dangerous situation, or if you're not looking good, or if he sounds uneasy, you want to sound calm, and you want to help him gain his composure.
Wow. Oh
So,
my God,
we
I
kind
love
of
that.
train
You don't want
that.
to you don't want to
So,
spook the pilot. I love that. Somebody needs to
right.
remain calm in the situation. And
Right.
you are seeing everything that's about to happen. How do you like I say, it's not ice in your veins, but sometimes you have to put some ice in your veins. Come on. Somebody need to you just need to take the emotion out of the equation
Right.
and see it for what it is and deal with it, or else, because emotions tend to, and we're talking about longing for acceptance, and all of this what we're talking about is going to work into the conversation, but emotions really take you on a course that makes you make wrong decisions most of the time, because emotions are things that up and down, left and right, unstable. So you have to take the emotions out. So when you take the emotions out, you have to see things for what it is to make strategic decisions. How do you communicate with a pilot or the people within the space you're working with to make the right decisions?
You have to choose the right words, and certain words have different meanings. Um, there's, like urgent means kind of like hurry up or whatever. Or, if we say like immediately, that means like it need to happen now. So, it's certain words you choose to get them to do something.
And then, of course, you're trying to remain calm so that the
Right.
pilot is not spooked. And then, of course, a pilot is up front there and cannot say anything to the passengers. Oh my.
Right.
So everybody's keeping secret.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
if you ever spook the passengers, that's it. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I've been on a flight and I tell you that was a spooky time. Where was I? I was returning. I was in Jamaica at the time because I was living in Jamaica for 21 years. And I was coming back on American Airlines from where was I? I can't even remember. Atlanta, I think. And the flight, we were heading to Jamaica. We were almost there, and all of a sudden, people realized because people are not stupid at the plane. It's only me who just goes with the flow, and they started to make a fuss. And it was like, why is the plane turning around? Why is the plane turning around? And the plane did turn around. The pilot didn't say anything. He said it after, and he said, "Look, the weather is really bad. We were almost to Jamaica. The weather is really bad and we can't land. We have to turn back to go back to Atlanta." Oh my God, listen to me. And there were some Jamaicans on the flight. It was not pretty. They, there were some Jamaicans on the flight, some artists. It was not pretty. And it was a fuss. And we had to turn back, wait in Atlanta again. Then, we don't know when we're going to get a flight to come back. Then we're back on the plane again and we're heading back. It was something. And I was like, just stay calm. We are guided by these people. The pilot must know what he's doing. If we cannot land, even though you were seeing Jamaica in front of you, we just can't land. But the weather was really bad, and it was just really crazy to know that a plane turned back. We just came from Atlanta, turned back to Atlanta to come back to Jamaica. I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? That was really scary. That was really scary.
And that's a normal reaction, but you have to think of the big picture, if and of course nobody think about it until, something traumatic happened. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to look at it, if something, happened and, your family, friends got forever to, one and only if.
Yes,
So,
yeah. It's better to be
so
safe than sorry. People were even
right.
speculating and saying, "Oh no, it's not the weather. It's not the weather. There's something happened to the plane, and they're just not saying." You know,
That is possible, but
Yeah, and they're just not saying it. It's possible. The pilot
that's
cannot
possible.
freak us out.
Yeah, but 20% of the time, maybe 30%, they'll tell you there's something wrong with the plane.
Yeah, but then,
Maybe later.
yeah,
It ain't gonna tell you then, but
later. That's right,
yeah.
later. Because I think
Yeah.
something did happen, and they went back to kind of sort it out, and
Mhm.
then we took another plane to come back. I'm like,
Right.
Lord have mercy. What is this? You're really in God's hands. There's nothing holding you up there, Harold. There is nothing but God's hands holding you. There's nothing you could do. That's the amazing thing. You have
Right.
no control.
Right. Well, let me add, and this kind of little advice. I mean, and I tell my kids this. I mean, everybody get upset, but if and I'm sure you heard of incidents where people have say fights on the plane or whatever. But if they happen to land at an unscheduled airport, then people are going to go to jail, and that's going to be fine. So you
Wow.
know, I try to tell friends, family, like nothing wrong with contesting. Hey, they didn't get my drink right, didn't get my order, whatever, or something wrong with my seat, or just the passenger behind me kicking my seat. But you don't want to be going from Atlanta and all of a sudden they stop in Dallas, from Atlanta to Jamaica, and then on schedule it they stop in Dallas. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
because then, people going to jail and they're going to put a big fine on you as well. So, it's something people don't think about. But
No.
like, you don't want to clown too bad.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people don't think about this. They don't. They just know I book a flight, I get on the plane, make sure my flight, and they're so bossy and
Right,
I really don't appreciate people like that. Just relax. There
right.
must be a reason. There must be and there everything is for a reason. So if your flight, I've sat down in airports for hours, like hours waiting on a flight. I have been held up in Miami. When I say held up, I mean the immigration people pull me out the line and I miss my flight.
Wow.
And yeah, and I had to run down a plane. It was the last flight out. And they're like, you could try and catch that one. And they were just like casual about it. You can try and catch that one. I was like, what? Where am I going to sleep if I miss that? And I had an event to go to. I'm like, what? But then I just look at it and I'm like, Lord, what is the lesson you want me to learn from this? Really? And I just make friends and I'm like, think positive. There's a reason for this. There's a reason. Just, you know, I just go with the flow, Harold. But we've talked so much about this, and we need to talk more of air about air traffic controlling. I just have an I'm just excited about what you do. So
Okay.
so longing for acceptance. You have gone from being with the FAA to going to Afghanistan.
Right.
You know, how the hell did that happen?
Oh boy. Um, a combination of things. I almost get I kind of lost my big paying job with the FAA.
Mhm,
So I was in Houston, and they kind of lost I lost a EO case, and so I luckily held on to I guess staying with the organization until I could get retirement. But in the meantime, I wasn't making about half what I was making when I was in Houston, Texas.
mhm,
And so I knew about this job, and I figured being a contractor. So I figured once I retired, I would, pursue it. And that's what happened. I retired and joined the contract world and came over to Afghanistan. And it was kind of a getaway that I really needed as well, because I went through divorce and kind of, like, fell out with my kids and, lost friends. And
mhm,
so, I was looking for something different.
mhm, mhm. So what did you do in Afghanistan as a contractor?
Same thing,
Oh, the
air
same.
traffic.
Oh, air traffic. Nice. Nice. And
Right.
what's the difference between air traffic controlling in Afghanistan compared to the US?
The biggest difference I go right there is you controlling kind of a war zone. That's I go right at it.
Okay. So now you have to have more ice in your veins. Yes.
Pretty much, but yeah,
Pretty
you
much. Wow. What a culture shock and a body shock and a mental shock and a mind shift. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of like a lot more security. So I mean, as in the stuff that that you cannot share.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more of that than the US.
Mm-hmm.
It's, and kind of different kind of air traffic. They kind of have little different airways or different highways. Where in the U.S. they could kind of, you could cross highways and if nobody's there and go over here, you can't necessarily do that. So it's more stringent.
Wow. There are highways in the sky. Okay then. There are highways in the sky.
Right.
Alrighty. And you're talking about they can just cross highways if nobody's there. That's what you do on the road. Well, you're not supposed to cross. Well, if you're on the same highway, you can cross over on the other side, but not on the other highway just like that. But oh my goodness,
Right.
this just seems crazy. But in moving, you
Yeah.
said you were going through a divorce. challenges with the kids, the ups and downs. So you needed something new. Now, when somebody say they're looking for something new, they're really after going through something like that and not having your job like what your cushy job like what you had in the US. Everything was comfortable and nice and hunky dory, I suppose. And now everything is topsy turvy, and you're looking for something new. You're really not moving from cushy and nice into something as a war zone, Harold. you're,
Well,
you're looking for something
the
more
thing,
peaceful to kind of ground you, to help you to come to yourself, to know yourself. But you moved from the pot into the fire.
my life was crazy. I mean, it was chaotic. So, so going to a war zone was kind of, I guess kind of kind of common for. Yeah, it was that chaotic at that time, and
So
you
the
kind of
war,
need.
so the war zone was calm compared to what you were going through. Okay, then I get you.
Right.
I
Yeah.
get you. The war zone was calm compared to that. Okay, that gives us some that gives us some perspective there.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So tell me about why, what do you mean by longing for acceptance? This is what we're talking about today. After going through that mental shift, mind shift, physical, it's something new. And like you said, it was better than what you had left behind. But
Right.
yet it is still a shock to your system. You had to make changes. What were you
Right.
longing for acceptance for? What it is that, why do humans need people to accept them? Why? And why do they long for it? Why are they searching for it?
it, I guess it's kind of innate thing, something that you feel give you credibility, or I guess a reason for being. I guess and from a childhood, from my child up until, like I said, I had a involved in a tragic situation over here in Afghanistan. I guess I was always kind of trying to find it, and once involved in that situation, I guess it made me see the balance.
Mm.
And like I said, I was Mississippi. Well, let me throw my book out there. My book called Sleepwalking Out of Afghanistan,
Right.
and part of it was, involved in an explosion,
Hmm.
and it made me flash back to my childhood going forward.
Hmm.
And part of that childhood, I talked about being, like the second fiddle. I was born in Mississippi. My older brother was the light skinned kid. I was a dark skinned kid. So I was never really accepted, didn't have a dad. So, once again, never really accepted, my mom had schizophrenia.
Hmm.
So it, it's like having a parent, but you don't, because she's not really there most of the time.
Hmm.
So, and that added to that, like you said, longing for acceptance, because people belittled me and, and my brothers, because, hey, your mom crazy,
Hmm.
nobody want to deal with you. So, you always trying to prove, or trying to find friends, or trying to work around that. And I went through a lot of that in my life. And like I said, it wasn't until later in my adulthood that I finally come to grips and come to peace with myself.
How do you
And
do that?
like
I
I said,
I understand that completely. And it is so funny that it's only when we get older and we mature, because not because we get older like in numerical age, but the maturity, and that it comes with looking within, Harold.
right,
You have to
right,
realize that something is off. I'm not whole. I'm missing something. Why am I feeling this way? It's a recognition of your feelings. And not a
right,
lot of people are willing to face their feelings. They run, they hide,
mhm,
They don't even look in the mirror because they don't like what they see. They don't like the words that are coming back at them when they look in the mirror, because yourself in the mirror do talk back to you.
Right, right.
And you're going to bed at night, those silent moments, you hear the voices in your head telling you a whole heap of crap to convince you otherwise. Your mind works against you. um, People are not realizing that even if you're a body, that's what you see. That's what you
Right.
see. It's tangible, but you're made up of mind, body, and spirit, soul, right?
Right.
And these things, these not even things, these are actual beings inside of you that make up your body. They live, they exist inside of you, and they work. They are constantly at struggle within you, and especially when you go through childhood, because it does come from childhood. If you really dig, it does come from childhood issues, because that's where it all starts. And unfortunately, we are not able to choose our parents or choose the circumstances we go into or grow into. So it comes back to haunt us. But the main thing with you, which is good, is that you recognize it, and you had to, as you said, deal with it. And the color of your skin, just like with all of us, we have, that it's such a beautiful thing being black. And when I say being black, I mean we are the only race that the colors range from white to jet
Right.
black. the
Right.
hues, the hues across that spectrum is so beautiful. We are the only race, and that is such a beautiful thing to me, that we can be white as somebody who is white, but yet black, and be as dark as tar and you're black. It doesn't matter. That's the only race that has that
Right.
hue. So we are so fortunate, but yet our own kind and other people tend to make us feel inferior because of the hue that we have across that spectrum. And it happens within our own family, people who love us or supposed to love us. It's amazing the kind of damage that our own family does to us without even realizing. So you said you come to
Right.
peace. You came to peace with that. How does somebody walk us through? I know it may be painful and may be hard to talk about, but that's what this show is about. Pain and dealing with your issues and helping others. So walk us through, how did you come to peace with yourself and
Mhm.
accepted yourself no matter what your brother or the circumstances with your mother or anyone else? How did you come to peace with that? And how long did it take you to come to peace with that?
Oh wow. It took a while. One of the things I realized, well, first, I think everybody want, we just naturally want people to like us. We want to fit in.
Mhm, mhm,
and and I bet probably even yourself, there's something, or there's a moment you realize, not only am I different, I'm probably different in a good way than most of the people I know.
mhm,
So that being said, you have to learn to, hey, learn to, instead of coming down to them, just, hey, stand with, that level that you are, or let them come to you.
mhm,
And that's weird because, like I said, when I was young, I spent a lot of time alone.
mhm,
So being able to do things by myself is not unusual. And
mhm,
I tell friends, I said, man, I travel alone. I have no problem going to a club by myself, and they're
mhm,
like, how do you do it? I said, well, it just doesn't faze me, and I know how to, I guess, communicate with people and find out what I need to find out.
mhm,
Like, where to go, or you know the best place to eat, or whatever. I mean, ask the taxi driver or whatever.
mhm,
It's like, it's like I told my daughter. I said, I didn't grow up, being the most handsome guy, or being very athletic. So I knew I had to reach out and touch people or talk to people more so than them coming to me, or approaching me.
mhm, mhm,
So approaching people is not hard for me to do.
mhm, mhm,
So I said, so, I can eat, I shoot, I ask people, hey, where is this place, or how to get that job, or Who
Mhm.
do I talk to? It's not hard for me to approach people.
Mhm.
So, I've realized it about myself, and I'm like, well, I've been, like you said, I've been wanting people to like me, whereas they're probably not going to happen. But hey, I'm happy with yourself,
Mhm.
and a lot of time when you kind of, I guess you say, we used to work out dumbing down or playing yourself down. You probably miss an opportunity,
Mhm.
because you waiting to be accepted. Whether that be with relationship, whether it be with a job, whether it be with a chance to travel. A lot. There's something sometime about you that are unique that God gave just you,
Of course.
and and what you don't see is, people may be hating on, they may see it and you may not see it, but they hating on you because they see it,
That's right.
and
That's
and you right, and you wondering why they hating on me. Well, because you can't see it.
That's right. That's right. And you wonder what the hell. But you see what you're saying there, you're making some solid points.
Mhm.
One, that whole thing about people just don't liking you. And for the life you can't figure what it is. But you have to turn it around and say, but wait, I haven't done the person anything. I haven't even spoken to the person.
Right,
Why
right.
you just look at me? They see a spirit in you that
They
really
do.
they want. Yes, they see something in you that they want to have, and it's jealousy and envy and all of those things that they just
Hmm.
can't help themselves, and they just don't like you. So you have to realize, you use a word different. It doesn't matter different. You're unique. We are all unique. I cannot
Well,
be you. You cannot be me. The other person cannot be us. We are all
right.
unique, and this is a beauty of the world, that we are all unique. I cannot look like you cannot look like me, and this is what causes the attraction, or whatever, between human beings.
Right.
So if we all look the same, wouldn't that be boring? Can you imagine if you look at yourself?
Exactly.
You saw yourself, I would just go crazy, just seeing myself all everywhere I
Mhm.
turn. No. So we have to appreciate the uniqueness that we have. We have to appreciate that we have to first love ourselves.
Right,
Love
right,
ourselves, because God don't make crap. God don't
right.
make crap, right? He
Well,
doesn't make a mistake, and he doesn't make crap. He knows what he's doing, right? And another thing that you mentioned too is that you were good by yourself. Harold, a
mhm.
lot of people are not good by themselves. It is something I am working on myself.
Mhm.
Dating yourself. When I tell people you must date yourself, they're like, what? What? How do you do that? Go out by yourself.
Right,
Sit down to dinner
right,
by yourself. Tell yourself, I'm
right.
taking you out today. I'm going to the finest
Mhm.
restaurant. Or we're going to the movies. Which movie do you want to see? This is between you and
Right.
yourself. Go
Mhm.
buy a popcorn, sit down in there, laugh, throw up your feet. Do all what you
Mhm.
date yourself.
Do it
If
yourself.
if you're not good by yourself, how could you be good with anybody else?
Right, right. And if you do it in such a way, somebody gonna notice you.
Yeah,
Somebody gonna somebody gonna talk to you. If you do it in a confident, if you do it in a I hate to say it, but in an appealing way. You
yeah,
carry yourself, you look nice, you're appealing. Somebody gonna say something to you.
of
You
course.
know.
Yeah,
So
they will more likely say, hey, you're by yourself.
right, exactly, exactly.
And they might be by themselves, and they might say, hey, you want company, and you sit down and talk, or
Exactly.
depending on the mood you're in, you might say, look, I just want to spend time by myself. And you just, because you're really out to date yourself. You're not really looking for company. You want to be able to just be alone. Probably another time you could arrange with the person, hey, we could probably do this another time. But today I just want to date myself. I just want to, I just want to be alone, because you
Right,
have to go through the process of being alone by yourself. That is something that
right,
I
and
all need to do. Because if you're not
exactly.
good being alone, being silent, dealing with those voices in your head, talking to yourself, being comfortable with you, you cannot be comfortable with anyone else.
Right.
Wow. It is
Yeah.
something that I'm seeing. It's like an epidemic, Harold. People are just, and you know the funny thing about it, they don't even realize that they are running from themselves. I'm like, how do you run from yourself? You're standing here. How do you run from
Exactly.
yourself? How do you do that? You're physically here. You can't run from yourself. Even if you run across the road, you're still there. No matter where
Right.
you go, you're still there. You cannot run from yourself. So why not just stand up and face it?
You know, a different spin on that. My dad never accepted me, so I didn't want to be, and I did everything I could to try not to be like him, and until I realized I was exactly like him.
Oh my, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I I mean, you know what I'm saying? I look like him. You know, I didn't grow up with him. I got his same kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is so wild. You know, and he had me out of wedlock. I had my daughter out of wedlock initially. I mean, we did get married, but I had out of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, wow, I'm so much like him, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And it when it hit me, I was like 29 when it hit me out, because up until then, you know, I didn't want to be like him, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I realized I was like him, and
Mm-hmm.
it my mind,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, you can't run from yourself.
you know. I guess, but
Yeah,
you
you
can't, you
can't.
know, don't and people define you. No, no matter how popular they are, no matter how big they are, you know, if like you know what, don't let them define who you are.
That's right. That's right. We're having some internet issues, Harold. You seem to be freezing a lot. I don't think it's on my side. Um, it's coming, I
Yeah.
think, from on your side. We're freezing. You're freezing a lot on that end. I don't know why. And it's affecting the recording, but we're still going to
Yeah,
push. That's okay. We're still going to push through. We're still going to have this conversation. So yeah, because I don't want to lose the point, and
okay,
anybody listening to this or who will be listening, you know, they just need to focus on what we're saying, because it's not a matter of the freezing or anything. It's a matter of the value of the information that is being shared. So yeah, you know, it comes back to what I was saying. You can run from yourself, but you're still there. You were trying not to be like your father, and then it hit you that you were so much like him. So it doesn't matter how far you run.
right.
Yeah, you're still there. It's amazing. So are you comfortable with being like him now? At first you didn't, but are you comfortable with being like him, or are you still dealing with that? As you know, I'm trying to frame the question. At one point you didn't want to be like him. I guess because
Right,
you didn't have a good relationship with him, or he didn't like you, or whatever. And then it hit you at 29 that you're so much like him.
right.
Are you okay with that?
I am. I am. Uh, and throw my book out there again. My book, Sleepwalking Out of Afghanistan, I talked about it. It's like I was 17 when I met him first face to face for the first time. He had
Wow.
no idea who I was,
Wow.
and you know, underneath it upset me, you know, but but that add to you know, even the years later of me being upset that you know, like you said, that I wasn't accepted.
Hmm.
And part of writing that book, and I've told younger adults, I said, you know, I said, your dad, I said, you're probably never going to have the relationship that you wish, and more, you know, more likely, you too old for him to buy you a Christmas gift, or, you know, to come see you play ball or play catch with you, or I say, you just hope have a communication or a good line of communication, or maybe he'll be something to your kids. I said, that's about it. You know, I said, and I've told a lot of young men, I said, the best you can hope for is, you know, him, you know, having a conversation, maybe him knowing your kids, but, and, you know, but you got to come to grip with, you know, letting some things go. that he wasn't there, that he,
Yeah.
wasn't a role model, that that he wasn't at your game, that he didn't teach you how to be a man. I said, you got to come to grips with that. And I thought I had. The book, it kind of smoothed it all out once I wrote that book.
Well, writing a book, because I'm an
Uh,
author and a self-publishing consultant, and writing a book is therapeutic. And I tell people writing, just like with journaling,
it
because
is.
writing is just journaling and you just put it together in a structured form. Writing is very therapeutic. You would not believe the things that come out of your hands, of your mind,
Right.
and the tears, the challenges that you face, the things that face. You just need to write. Pour yourself into the words. Don't hold back. Just pour yourself. It's very therapeutic. It saves you a lot of money sitting in the psychiatrist's chair. You just pour yourself out into that book, and
Right.
your story actually helps you to help others, and you discover things as you write your book, as you pour those words out of your body, out of your mind, heart, and soul. There are things that you didn't even realize that you were going through, and you're like, wow, I wrote that. I don't believe that. What was happening to me? You start to dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. But you're absolutely
But
right. There are things you have no control over. And we have to realize that you had no control over your father not knowing you. You have no control over him liking you. Of course, you cannot expect any Christmas gifts or Santa sleighs now. You know, so the relationship is one that will be
right.
will be different. And you just have to accept
Right.
and let it go. Or else it's going to consume you, eat you up inside, and take you to a dark place that is not healthy for you.
And Miss LaFont, this is what was so weird. I did a lot of gathering information about writing about my dad in my book. And it was all, bad thing, bad. And something hit me and said, make it joyous, make it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a chance to read my book, Sleepwalking Out of Afghanistan, and you go to the short story, you go to the part where Are You My Daddy and read that part, it's pretty funny. And I'm so proud I did. I'm so proud. I had some lingering bitterness. But once I guess start writing, I said, no, I don't want to make it another, ugly dad story. I
Yeah,
want to make it more funny. And I
yeah.
did. And the favorite part of that short story is it's a part called Dinner at 2 a.m. It's probably one of my favorite stories in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I submitted it to another podcast and they loved it. And so it's if you ever get a chance to read it, it's funny. It's all get out. And I wanted it to be that way. And I was so proud when I finished it. I made it funny rather than rather than all the bitterness coming out.
Yes.
I mean, you could detect, some heartbreak. No doubt you can detect it, but the part I kind of wanted closer with it, it is just knee slapping fun.
Yes.
And I was happy that I could do that.
Yes.
After all I went through with him, I was happy I could turn and make it funny, you know.
Well, that
And
that
and
that
and, and,
shows
and, in, and in a sense,
that shows your growth.
and in a sense, it was me accepting him
Mhm.
more than him accepting.
Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
It
That's
was
what it is about.
right,
Yeah, forgiveness. People don't realize.
right,
And I've
and
been doing a lot of talk on forgiveness. I'm working on that within myself too. We all work on it. We have to work on it. We have to let things go. And people feel forgiveness is all about the other person. Forgiveness, I've learned, is more for you. It's not for the other person. And it doesn't mean when you forgive somebody that they haven't done the wrong. It doesn't mean that they haven't done the wrong.
right,
You know, it means, yes, they have done the wrong. You
Right.
know, it means that you were hurt, etc. But the forgiveness is really to release the person, release yourself, and not make that hold you back from moving forward with your life. They might not be moving forward, you know, but you need to move forward for yourself, because you cannot
Mhm.
hold on to that.
Mhm.
You're just stuck. You feel stuck and you need to move forward. And the only way to move forward is just to forgive. Forgive for you, not for the other person, for you. And you don't need to go to the person and say, I forgive you. You don't need to do that. You don't need to see them face to face. You can do it all by
Right.
yourself. You and God, your source, your universe, whatever you want to call it. And you can just have that conversation with God and say, listen, I am releasing this person. Help me to release this person. Help me to have the strength, the will, you know, to just let it go, you know, to just let it go.
Right.
Wow. Because I'll tell you something, you know, Harold, we
You
seek acceptance from everybody, but they cannot accept us. They are not the ones that
right.
accept us. It's only one person that
Yeah.
accepts us, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing that people will look at you and find reason not to like you, and that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
And I never I never tried to stop being me. And even whether it's racism or whatever, and all that's in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
talk about racism. I talk about the schizophrenia with my mom. I talk about bullying,
Mm-hmm.
and but I never stopped being me, and I'm
Never.
proud of that.
Yes,
And
never. You can only be you. You cannot be Corinne. You cannot be John next door. You can only be Harold. And that is awesome. That is awesome.
right,
That is awesome. Handsome Harold. I'm going to add that to your name. Handsome Harold. Don't make anybody tell you otherwise. Yeah? Oh
thank
my
you,
goodness.
thank
Oh
you.
my goodness. Harold, I want to jump across to your website. Let me see if I can do that and feature your book here. Tell me your website
Uh,
again. Tell me the URL for your
doc
website again.
is HTS and
I'm not you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Harold.
dot.
You're breaking up. I'm not I'm not getting that.
Yeah,
Hold 1 second. Let me see if
put my name together. Dot Harold Pfeiffer. Dot.
okay. HaroldPfeiffer.com. Here we go. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to share it on the screen. I hope you can see it. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. And who is this
Yeah.
guy? So there you are, sleepwalking out of Afghanistan. Wow, this is
Right. It's
nice.
it's more comical than anything. Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
talked about the tragedy in Afghanistan, and it's only about 20% of that. And and I built a little bit talking about the bad people in my family. But then there's a battery of comedy that you're gonna enjoy. You know, you, you relate to some story somewhere, some you
Yeah.
relate, and you're gonna laugh. You know, I talked about funny things in the church, relationships. Like I said, weird relationship with my dad, weird
Mm.
relationship with my aunt, a couple with my mom. I mean, and I wanted them to be entertaining, and they are. They're uniquely entertaining.
Nice. And I see some lovely pictures here, your little selfies. Yeah, with with people here, with your book. You're doing an awesome job sharing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But you know, Harold, everybody has a story within them. And I would wish,
Right.
I always encourage people to share their stories because you don't know what your story may do for someone else. You
Right.
know, somebody may be just led to your book for whatever reason, or somebody may have read the book and know somebody going through something and will be able to share that book with somebody else, you know, and impact their lives. Really, you know, people need to really
It's
write more.
it's
Yeah. You were saying something, Harold.
it's a super inspiring. It ways I dealt with bullying, and they're funny. The way I dealt with being overlooked, and
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
said with in uh
You're breaking up a lot, Harold.
story.
I'm not getting most of what you're saying. I don't know what's happening, but I'm not getting most of what you're saying now. There's some, yeah, disconnect with the internet on your end. Are you hearing me clearly when I speak?
Right, I'm hearing you. It's a little broken, but I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the connection today, but we may have to do a follow-up. I can arrange a follow-up somehow so that we can
Okay,
get something clear. I'm going to do that for you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
But
okay,
I want people to be able to at least know about you. So I'm still going to upload this recording and see what people can garner from it. But rest assured, we're going to have a follow-up conversation to this, okay?
okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. So what are you up to these days, Harold?
Believe it or not, it's right at about 8 o'clock in Afghanistan. I'm in Afghanistan.
You're in Afghanistan right now?
Yes, it's like 8 o'clock at night.
Are you serious?
Right.
You're in
Yeah,
Afghanistan right now.
right now in Afghanistan.
Oh my God, how long have you been there?
Oh wow. I've been here about 5 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you planning to stay in Afghanistan?
Well, until I guess get that next career going, hopefully writing, until I get until I make enough money to leave, then yeah, I'll leave.
Wow, you need to send me pictures and videos of Afghanistan. I would love to see what it looks like. Share, Harold.
It's a dusty place. You
That's
know,
okay.
it's
Find beauty in it. Find beauty in it and send me pictures. Keep in touch with me. And
okay,
and
okay,
send me what that part of the world is like. Do some videos. You have my email. Share with me the
okay,
beauty of Afghanistan and the people's faces and the markets and the you know I would love to
okay.
see that. I would love
Cool.
to see that. You walk out on the road, you go into the coffee shops or whatever. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah.
That ain't too safe, but we do have some interaction with Afghan. And
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. You're breaking up so badly. I don't even know. I don't even know this, and we're having such a wonderful
okay,
conversation. I'm not even going to say I'm upset because, as I say, everything is for a reason. So yeah, I'm not upset. I am having a wonderful conversation with you. So if I don't upload this, because of how static and disconnected it is, don't mind. I'm going to have a follow up with you when I think things are better. Probably it's Afghanistan that's interrupting our connection. You're too far. You're too far.
well, yeah. The real time, I just got it confused. But when you say like 9:30 or what's it, 9 p.m., probably make sure it's in there right. It was well. It was like what about 4:20 in the morning, and that probably would have been best
Yeah.
because we're we have limited bandwidth. That's what the problem is. We have limited bandwidth with
Okay.
the internet.
What I may do is a call with you. When I called you earlier, it sounded pretty okay, pretty clear.
Right.
So what I
Right.
would do is I would call you and record that and use that for the
Okay.
show as well. Would that be okay?
Probably best if you call on my Afghanistan number. I don't know how much money you want to spend, but I can reimburse you. But what I'm saying, my Afghanistan number is not as choppy.
No, but
But
the number that you gave me to call you in the email, I called you on that. That was fine. That sounded good.
well, and that probably been good for a little while. What happened was people probably came in about 20 minutes ago and started getting line, so they start thinning out the bandwidth.
Oh, so probably, well, we'll find the time. You just let me know, message me, you know how
Or
to email me.
or you can give me a number to call you, and if you can make that work,
Yeah, I can give you a number to call me. That's fine. I don't mind sharing my number with you. Have my number. It's in the it's in the
it is. But I didn't know how that transfer. You trying to record or put it.
no,
Or
no.
put it on.
I'll send you an email with my number. So that's fine. We could do that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
So
we can if we can
we,
agree.
we need to keep in touch. So you're out there alone still in Afghanistan, all by your lonesome in the desert with planes and highways.
In the desert. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where are your kids? How
We
many?
got. We got.
Yeah, how many kids?
I got. I got two kids. My daughter in Baltimore. She worked at John Hopkins in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
and my son going to University of Tampa. Tampa. He's a freshman down there.
Oh, nice. So do they ever come over to Afghanistan to see you or?
Oh no.
Why not?
No, it's not the best of place, for a vacation or anything. But they have been. I meet them in Dubai. We've done that a couple of times.
Okay, okay,
And yeah,
okay. That's nice.
Dubai.
I've heard
Yeah,
of Dubai. I hear it's a beautiful place. I have a friend in Abu
yeah,
Dhabi. It's beautiful.
right.
So here's what. Here's what. Let's
All
do
right.
better than calling. We have to arrange. You're in air traffic control. I need to fly. I'm going to trust that you're going to fly me over to.
I
Yes.
don't have connections now. I don't have connections now.
I'm going to trust. I'm putting it out there globally. I'm going to trust because I need to get to Abu Dhabi and to
Okay.
Dubai. So I'm going to
Okay.
trust that you're going to fly me over and you're going to know that I'm on that particular plane that you're going to see blipping on the screen and you're going to
Okay.
make sure that that I'm safe going
For
and
sure.
coming back. Yes,
For
and I
sure.
yes, for sure. I would say, hey, I would tell all the people on the plane, look here, I am on this plane, and this plane is being controlled by Harold Pfeiffer. He
Yeah.
is making sure that I'm safe. So if I'm safe, you're good to go.
Yeah. You'll be good to go.
That is exciting. That is exciting. I love that. We have to make that happen, Harold, so that I can get to Abu Dhabi and I can see what's going on and hop across to Afghanistan in the desert. Oh gosh, I can't take the heat. But
Matter of fact, the picture, my imposed picture on my website, I
Mhm.
took that in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, lovely, lovely. It's
The
nice.
one where I have on the blue or purple shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
From
nice. That's nice.
yeah.
That's nice. So we have to arrange that. So you're going to be controlling that plane when I'm flying. So I know that I'm safe.
Okay, this is fine. Okay. We'll take care of you.
Yes, yes, we got to arrange that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Harold, for sharing
Okay.
just a snippet because I know we haven't gone into details, but just a snippet of your life and what's going on. And, I just want people to know that you can come out of it. You know, forgiveness,
Exactly.
releasing, letting go, accepting yourself, dating yourself. We talk so many things, you know, facing your fears, you know, looking within. There's so many different ways. And you know, the timing of this episode is so good too, because it's at the end of the year where people do a lot of reflection, you know, and they look at how they're moving forward with their lives. And this is such a great time to reflect. Forget the resolutions where you make up a whole lot of lies and you say, I want to lose weight and all those things. Those are nice. Work on you. Work on you,
Right.
get to know you. And you'll believe it. The weight loss and all the other things will come to you because you have started accepting who you are. It's going to
Right.
automatically start happening because once you work in spirit, your body follows. Once you
Right.
work in spirit, your body follows. It's amazing. Thank you so
Exactly.
much, Harold Pfeiffer. Is there any final words you want to say before we go?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think anybody looking for acceptance or different approaches. If you read my book, I promise you, you'll see some things that fit you,
Yeah,
and you'll see my approach to a lot of things that you know you may not have thought of, but you'll be like, wow, that was amazing. That was a good way to take it on,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, it may help you get to the acceptance that you're looking for.
yeah. I love that. It's all about a mind shift and a
Hmm.
different perspective. Look at it differently and stop being focused on the negative. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much, Harold. I'm sure I'm keeping you back from going to work. Please tell them it's my fault. So,
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's all good. It's just like I said, people come in, the buck of all the traffic, and what they do, they start streaming, downloading, getting on the website, and it thins out the bandwidth.
okay.
So that so trying to hit the right spot probably would be like initially where we were like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll give it
I
a
mean
try. I'll have to
4:30.
I'll
Yeah,
give it a try and see what
yeah.
4:30 in the morning works out. If you're okay, what 4:30 in the morning works out for me on this end. I'll check it out.
Well, and what I'm getting at probably would be like let's say about 2 or 3 your time in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
But if in the morning, 3 in the morning for me, everybody else is going to sleep. Right? We'll
Mm.
be on
Yeah, yeah. And would
the
that be
easier for us
okay
to
for you?
communicate.
Would that be okay for you to wake up at that time to do an interview?
Oh yes, I'm up all times of the night and day. I, I, I'm weird like that.
Yeah, same here. I'm like that. I'm up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just me. Whenever my body tells me it's time to rest, I do that. You know, so I follow that. You know what my spirit and my body tells me. So thank you so much. We will definitely reschedule or do another a follow up to this, and we will work out what's the best time. Yeah,
I'm encouraged. I like it. I like it.
yeah. Thank you so much, Harold, for being on Between the Lines. It has been a pleasure spending time with you.
You take care and I